What if someone stood on international television and said that a man accused of helping steal billions of dollars has never done anything wrong? Would you believe it? Would you ask questions? That is the conversation Nigeria is having right now, and the answer matters more than you think. Earlier today, a statement by Daniel Bwala began making headlines across the country. Bwala, who is the special advisor to President Bola Tinubu on policy communication, said there is no evidence of misappropriation against Atiku Bagudu, the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning. That is a strong statement, and it has sparked a very serious national conversation. Let us understand the people involved. Daniel Bwala is a lawyer who speaks on behalf of the presidency. He made these remarks during a heated interview on Al Jazeera's head-to-head program hosted by Mehdi Hasan, a journalist known worldwide for asking tough, direct questions. This was not a casual conversation. It was a serious, high-pressure exchange on a global stage. And who is Atiku Bagudu? He is a former ally of the late Nigerian military ruler Sani Abacha, whose offshore dealings were detailed in the Pandora Papers. For those who may not remember, Abacha ruled Nigeria in the 1990s, and after his death, investigations revealed that billions of dollars had been stolen from the country. So the question many are asking is simple. What role did Bagudu play? Let me take you deeper. On the show, Hassan questioned Tinubu's anti-corruption credentials by highlighting Bagudu's appointment. He noted that the United States Department of Justice alleged that Bagudu played a role in embezzling and laundering billions during the Abacha regime. In 2020, the DOJ said Bagudu was part of a network that embezzled, misappropriated, and extorted billions from the government of Nigeria. Those are not small words from a small agency. But here is where the story becomes layered. In 2003, Nigeria reached a settlement with Bagudu, who returned hundreds of millions of dollars with no admission of guilt. Criminal charges and civil claims were dropped. He was never convicted. He returned money, yes, but never admitted wrongdoing. Does that mean all is settled? Not quite. Over the past decade, the DOJ has continued trying to seize offshore assets held in trust for Bagudu and his family. So even though matters were resolved in Nigeria, American authorities kept pursuing action. If you are finding this helpful, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing you honest breakdowns of the stories that matter. So, what exactly did Bwala say? He stated that there is no evidence Bagudu has misappropriated funds and that decisions by courts in the United States do not bind the Supreme Court of Nigeria. In simple terms, Bwala is making 2 points. First, no Nigerian court has found Bagudu guilty. Second, whatever the United States does in its own courts does not automatically apply here. Is that a fair legal argument? In a narrow sense, yes. Nigerian courts operate under Nigerian law. A ruling in Washington does not become a ruling in Abuja. But here is the question many Nigerians are asking. Should the standard for a minister in charge of the nation's budget simply be that he has not been convicted locally, or should the standard be higher? Think about that for a moment. Hassan pressed this point directly, asking how Nigerians can take Tinubu seriously on corruption when he appoints someone like Bagudu to manage the budget. Bwala responded that Nigeria is a sovereign country and foreign court decisions do not bind its judiciary. That speaks to legal independence, but it does not fully address the deeper concern about public trust. There is also another interesting detail. Bwala was confronted with his own past statements. Before joining Tinubu's camp, he had publicly attacked the same administration over corruption allegations. That raises a natural question about consistency. When someone changes positions so visibly, people wonder whether the new stance reflects genuine belief or political convenience. Bwala also described broad corruption claims against the government as opinions rather than substantiated facts. When pressed on polls showing many Nigerians view the administration as corrupt, He attributed such views to subjective expressions rather than evidence. That is a bold stance. It tells the public that unless something is proven in court, it remains just opinion. Some will agree, others will feel it sets the bar too low for those who hold the public trust. If this discussion is making you think, share it with someone who cares about Nigeria's future. Why does this matter to you? Because the minister being discussed controls the planning of Nigeria's budget. Just recently, a tense session unfolded at the House of Representatives as lawmakers questioned key members of Tinubu's economic team, including Bagudu, over alleged failures in the 2025 budget. This is not just about the past, it is about the present. It is about whether the people managing your money are held to the right standard. The record shows Bagudu returned about $163 million linked to Abacha loot investigations. Whether or not one calls that a conviction, the public controversy around his appointment cannot honestly be dismissed. This is the heart of the matter. In public life, trust is not only built in courtrooms. Trust is built through transparency, consistency, and the willingness of leaders to hold themselves to a standard beyond what the law strictly requires. When someone says there is no evidence against a colleague, the public has every right to examine that claim carefully, not with anger, but with honest and respectful questions. So, as you go about your day, think about this. What standard do you want for the people who manage your nation's resources? When someone says there is no evidence, do you accept it, or do you ask what kind of evidence they are looking for? These are not easy questions, but they are the questions that shape the kind of country we become. Keep thinking, keep asking, and never stop caring about the truth.